What's going on, everyone? So, one of the things that the Lakers did in their loss to Minnesota was greatly overhelp. Right? Lakers have a lot of issues. Lakers have a lot of holes, particularly on the interior. Right? Jackson Hayes just doesn't have the size. He has the height, but he doesn't have the size to match up against these bigger centers and the physicality to match that Minnesota is going to play with and all those things. And you saw it, right? So, what did the Lakers do? They tried to overcompensate for the lack of interior size. They were more worried about being dominated on the inside and trying to contain Anthony Edwards and trying to make Anthony Edwards pedestrian than closing out on shooters and staying home on shooters and stuff like that. Now, I did talk about very heavily that this series is probably going to come down a lot to how well can we contain Anthony Edwards. But you also need to not let wide open threes happen all game. Now, look, Minnesota shot 21 of 42 from three-point range. That might not happen again for a long time, right? Like, Minnesota, you could probably just have all their guys take 41 shots again, wide open. Lakers not even like, Lakers could sit on the bench while they took 41 shots, and they might not make 21 of them, right? Like, they shot the ball extremely well, to their credit, right? Yeah. Applaud them, tip your cap to them, tell them, we'll see you again, right? But it also doesn't help when they're just getting like literally wide open threes, right? Jaden McDaniels is a streaky three-point shooter. But if you just leave him wide open with no resistance, he's probably knocking it down, right? More often than not. Probably going to miss a couple. He's probably not going to go 3 of 3 like he did last game, but probably going to knock them down. Right? Same thing with Naz Reid. Same thing with right? Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Same thing with any of these guys. You leave these guys wide open, like they're good enough to hit threes. Right? There are concerns about Minnesota's three-point shooting, but they're still NBA players. Right? You leave NBA players wide open. I mean, Rudy Gobert could probably knock down a couple threes if you just leave them wide open with no pressure, no resistance, no nothing, game after game after game. So Lakers need to do a better job. One of just team rebounding, hustle, effort, energy, hit shots, right? They need to hit shots. Talked about that very heavily, right? Like Lakers are going to live and die by how well they shoot the basketball. And it was a concern with the rest, right? Because Lakers take the rest off and it's like, well, now you don't have, now you take a week off when guys were already in rhythm. You had Rui and Gabe and LeBron was even starting to get back into his rhythm and Luka got into his rhythm. Luckily, Luka still is in his rhythm. He's one of the few that was. But point is that you had the Lakers clicking offensively and the way that they were shooting the basketball, and then you took a week off and then expected them to jump right back in when a lot of them are streaky shooters too, right? So gotta hit shots. Lakers need to make sure that they're knocking down the three ball and they're knocking it down with some consistency and some regularity, right? A lot of people talk about, Luka only had 1 assist. Well, an assist is based on somebody hitting a shot, right? Like Luka could do nothing but pass the ball. If no one hits a shot, then he's not getting assist, right? It's not just as simple as like, I passed the ball and that's an assist. No, you have to pass the ball and then they have to hit the shot, right? But Lakers need to, you're going to have to live with some things, right? You're going to have to concede some things. You're going to have to give up some things, right, to better match up. It's just, you're going to have to do it against every team regardless, right? Like, we'll give up the corner 3 to Randall or whatever, right? Like, there's always going to be things that you're going to have to concede. Just like Minnesota concedes some things for the Lakers. Right? It's part of any matchup, right? But you can't, like, Lakers just overdid it, right? Like if that makes sense, right? Like if you watch that game, Lakers were too far, just again double teaming and trapping and just like, hey, we're not going to leave the base, this 15-foot area, right? Ran a lot of zone, did a lot of things like that. It's like, again, you're probably not beating many teams that way, right? You're gonna have to concede some stuff. Right? You're going to have to make sure you're not just letting shooters wide open to just basically get shooting practice. Right? I mean, just all you're doing is letting them get reps. And that's not going to bode well for the long haul of the season, because now guys are really going to be in rhythm and stuff, because it's just like, man, I'm just getting wide open looks, man. This is okay. Give me the ball. Yeah, like Lakers need to make sure that they're doing a better job of attacking and closing out hard on the three-point shot, shifting, moving, right? Like Lakers had sequences where they looked really good, but they had moments, particularly towards the end of the third and early fourth, right? Like where you saw them getting out to shooters and closing out hard and, being able to recover and making the proper rotations and making the proper reads and playing the right way. Right? Like, but you have to be able to do that for 48 minutes. The Lakers aren't good enough to do that for 12. Right? Lakers have to play defense. You cannot give up 63 points in 3-point attempts, or in 3-point points, or made threes, right? It's just Lakers need to make sure that they're having a better balanced attack on both the offensive side of things and the defense side of things. Again, it's one thing to concede some things. It's another thing to just let NBA players be wide open all game. It's one thing if it's like one guy. It's like, hey, we're going to let Julius Randle take 12 threes and trust that he's not going to go 11 of 12, right? Like something like that, sure, fine, right? But to do that for essentially everybody, right? And Naz Reid is wide open, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker's wide open, and Julius Randle and all these guys, like everyone's just wide open, allowed to take threes, probably making them more often than not, right? Like, so you need to do a better job just on the defense side of the basketball and stop conceding so many wide open threes. It's going to be an issue for the Lakers all postseason. They're going to have to make those adjustments. They have to make those changes. They're going to have to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing in order to kind of minimize that to the best of their ability. I understand the Lakers lack that interior size and presence, and I get that that's a big concern for the Lakers because they don't want to give up a layup line every possession down the court. But you also don't want to give up just threes, right? Again, bad sequences happen, bad moments happen. You miss a rotation, or you miss an assignment. It happens, right? But possession after possession after possession after possession after possession after possession, like you're not winning many, if any, games if you're playing that way, right? Lakers need to stop overhelping. I understand the concerns. I understand, with Minnesota in particular, but you gotta. I'd rather Anthony Edwards drop 50 a night and trust that, that alone isn't going to beat you than Anthony Edwards was torching us, just creating that dribble penetration and then kicking out to shooters. And we were so worried about Anthony Edwards and protecting the paint that we just let them shoot, and they beat us. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Feel what your thoughts? Agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.